Hey, shalom, shalom. Anakna waha ay barish Allah walakim la'atham. Call Shabawai Baharcha wa Kakshaw. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Hey, we the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nacham Atam Kaya Hamalakwath Hashemayim Korah. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Layim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Chahakodash Wamashana Kabadim Zuklaim Nawo Wamalakam Shor Yashal Zuklaim Chagadawa Wachasa Washalwam Wabarakim Lahabachaya Shahagawish Al Shalom. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahushua He delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. Alright, so the title of the lesson is ChaatazayamWa. Alright, ChaatazayamWa, which is his arrows. Chaatazayam, which would be arrows, and the wa at the end is going to be his. Alright, referring to the ICBMs. Alright, we're starting in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Alright, the second woe was World War II. Alright, and the third world's war is coming quickly. Alright, and that's when the nations is going to mount up their arrows and use them. Alright, where Babylon is going to be destroyed. Alright, and various other parts, but Babylon's going to get what she deserves. Alright, this is Yahweh Allah, also Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right. And all these nations that, were weak, so to speak, in previous years, now that they're able to press that button, with the ICBMs, all right, and they're also making alliances with these stronger nations, so therefore, chiefly, since they got those, the button, they got the ICBM, so they're saying that they are strong, all right, because they got the same, technology as America, Babylon the Great to produce those ICBMs, all right, whereas before they was known for like farming, and they wasn't really, didn't really have the nuclear capability. All right, that's ultimately what that's getting into, because they weren't known to have the nuclear capability, but now they do. All right, this is Yeshaya, also Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 20. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. All right, what's going to cause the earth to reel to and fro like a drunkard? It's talking about the ICBMs, man. The impact and the destruction that's going to bring. All right, it's going to cause the earth to move. It's going to cause, like with the flood. The flood caused the land to shift. And the land is going to shift again. Let's keep going. This is Yeshaya, also Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. All right, so the Lord created, the scientists that made these ICBMs. All right, He put the spirit on them to divide the atom. You see, and really, when you go into the word atom, it means indivisible. You see, but the Lord put a spirit on them to be able to make the atom divisible, in which that produce the nuclear missiles. This is Zechariah, also Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Yerushalayim. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So basically their eyes is going to melt, all right, and their tongue is going to melt away, all right. It's going to consume away. Let's go into the word consume. It says makwak, all right. It says rot away, pound away, to cause to rot, decay, to fester, dissolve, to melt. It's going to melt. Their tongues and their eyes is going to melt. All right, that's going to be 2/3. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. It says in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, being America Babylon the Great, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, and that fire is going to come from the ICBMs. All right. This is Isaiah, Yeshaya chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments roll in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right, and that fuel or that fire, the burning is coming from the ICBMs. That's what's going to burn this land. All right. Whereas previously, the battles was being fought like 300. Like how you the best. It's a lot. The best examples we got is like the movie 300. And like Lord of the Rings, movies like that. They was very physical battles. All right. But this one's going to be with the nuclear missiles. Okay. So moving on, this is ChaatazayamWa, also Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. All right. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. The Lord is bringing that, bringing the plagues, and chiefly the destruction, because men have walked in great pride. All right. That can be found in 2nd Ezra. It says, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. It says, neither shall their silver nor their gold, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, because the Lord is no respecter of persons. He doesn't care about your status, your money, none of that. If you are going off, then you'll be destroyed. All right, it says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right, so it's going to be a speedy riddance. They're going to dissolve quickly, all right, from them ICBMs. Or they're going to be destroyed quickly, all right. This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 12. It says, one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 more woes hereafter. All right, that first one being World War I, the second World War. All right, and that third World War, which that's coming shortly. We seeing that in the making, as we speak. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. It says, and the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying, the 6th angel which had the trumpet loosed the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Nahar Parath, all right, which is Euphrates, Hanahar Parath, the river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the 3rd part of men. And the number of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. All right. So, I'm gonna read that again. It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. So 200,000 is 200 million missiles. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the division, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these 3 was a 3rd part of men killed by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right. So, I'm gonna keep going. It says, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols, and gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. All right. But the part I want to get was verse 19. It says, for their power is in their mouth. All right, it's talking about the top part of the ICBM. All right, because when you look at it like any round, you got the head of the round, which is the actual round itself, and then under that you got where they keep the powder at, or the like, not necessarily like gunpowder, but the driving force behind the actual projectile. So for like a bullet round, it will be gunpowder. I'm not sure what they use with the ICBMs, but some type of driving mechanism behind the actual round. That's why it says for their power is in their mouth. All right, so the actual round itself, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right, so when when John seen these visions, this is how he explained them. All right, because that's how it looks. All right, or that's how it looked. And if you actually see a missile being shot off, it looks exactly like this. All right. Continuing on, this is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his charagma in their forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. All right. So that's going to be the punishment. Well, I'll keep going. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, whosoever receiveth the charagma of his name. All right, so those that receive the charagma, that's going to be the punishment of them. Going back to Zechariah 14 and 12, all right, they're going to get that the melting of the eyes and the tongue. They're going to be destroyed by the ICBM missiles. All right. The Lord's arrows. All right. This is Yahweh Allah. Back to Yahweh Allah. Joel chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. All right. The Lord said, warn his people. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Israelite foreigners. All right. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right, and this is what the men of the Lord do. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, because, the men of the Lord are out on the highways and byways warning the people. All right, that's the sign right there. It says, a day of darkness. All right, we just read that. It says a day of darkness, of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people as strong. There hath not been ever the like. Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yet nothing shall escape them. All right, let's get into the ICBMs. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. The noise of chariots on the tops of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. All right. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter into the windows like a thief. All right, that's going into the ICBMs. Ain't nothing going to stop them. They're not going to run into each other, collide, and misfunction or malfunction. None of that. All of them will have a specific spot to where they hit. They're going to be very precise, and they're not going to miss their target. All right. Going to ICBM, also Amos, chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." All right. So destruction to those that are looking for the day of the Lord and not in the correct spirit, i.e., you Muslims, you so-called Christians, you Buddhists, you Chrislam people, you're not in the correct spirit. The Lord is coming for the Israelites, nobody else. You see, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. All right, so there's no way that you can get away from the Lord's judgment. All right, you ain't gonna be able to fly away from a missile. You see, if the Lord has a missile with your name on it, that's exactly what you're gonna get. All right, it says, "Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?" All right, that's the scripture is reiterating it, because it's gonna be a very dark time, and the only ones that's gonna have light is the elect. All right, this is 2nd Isaiah, also Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows, ChaatazayamWa." All right, his arrows, it says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss." Going back to Yahweh Allah, Joel, when they begin to be shot in the ends of the world. All right, so they're not going to miss. They're going to hit the target. You see, the Lord is the ultimate expert marksman. All right. Going to 2nd Isaiah, also Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 27, it says, "And cannot," it says, 2nd Ezra 4 and 27, it says, "And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities." All right, this world is full of evil. All right, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. You see, the wicked, roughly paraphrasing, the wicked are in rulership right now. They rule the world, and they run the world in gross darkness. You see, "But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come." Our evil is sown in the world, you see, but in order for this to be purged out, this place has to, the wicked of the planet Earth has to be destroyed. All right, it says, "If therefore that which is sown, the evil, be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good." So the destruction has to come, you see. And it's going to come by them ICBMs, all right? And the Lord is going, along with the other chariots, cleaning house, you see. Because the earth is being ran by Esau, even the so-called white man, and unrighteousness, you see. So they got to go. Esau got to be destroyed. 2/3 got to be destroyed, you see. They're a cancer. When you don't cut a cancer out, it spreads, so that cancer has to be taken out. And that's what the Lord is coming to do, all right? So I brought this out. It was edifying. ChaatazayamWa, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Chakodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone that told me the truth and rule well. And much respect. Ahab Rob, which is much love, much respect and love to you brothers that are pushing the truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom, Layla Tawat, shalom.